Hey everyone, welcome to day 11 from the 12 licks of Christmas. For this penultimate lick, what I'm doing is taking a pretty standard D pentatonic minor scale, but I'm playing it with a little hybrid picked sequence idea that just makes it sound a little more interesting, a little bit more modern because there's some wide interval jumps it. So I think the first thing we do is actually look at what I'm doing with the right hand, hybrid picking wise here. So if we take the first little phrase from the lick, which goes like this. This is a good little chunk just to take the lick and just to work on it, to isolate the right hand to see what we're doing here. Now, what I'm actually playing note-wise with the left hand here is 7 on the A string there, so that's my root note, E. Then I'm going to be playing 10th fret of the A string. Then I'm going to play 7th fret of the G string. Okay, so that's my first 3 notes. But what I'm actually doing here picking-wise is I'm going to be playing a hammer-on 7 to 10 with a downstroke with the right hand here. Then I'm going to use my middle finger to pluck the G string, okay, to give the 3 notes. Now hybrid picking, if you've never done any hybrid picking before, it's quite weird to kind of isolate what you'd normally be doing with your pick and then use these fingers here. There's loads of different exercises you can work on. You can take like a chord and just kind of arpeggiate it to work in that kind of isolation of these 3 fingers versus your kind of picking finger and thumb. But it's also good just to start with the middle finger. So to get, you know, if you wanted to kind of just isolate that little movement, just play a little octave there or something. So it's like 7th fret A string, 9th fret the G string with the 3rd finger. And then just jump between the A string with the downstroke and then pluck the G string with the middle finger. So you've got a nice bit of control there. What you find is you don't need to make any big movements here because you're going to be plucking with the finger. So it's just kind of sitting there ready to go. Okay, so this little hybrid bit, picking bit, I do a hammer on, then I pluck the G string. Okay, so I have that bit. This bit here, what I actually do here is play an upstroke at the 10th fret and then a downstroke at the 7th fret and then I pluck 9th fret of the G string there. So you have 3 notes that go to this. So when you put that together, the first 3 goes like this. Okay, now that group of 6 notes is a brilliant little unit just to isolate and practice. Just repeat it, repeat it, repeat it. So you have this kind of thing built into your kind of, as usual, muscle memory in the left and right hands. Because what we're doing is we're taking that sequence and we're just shifting it through the remainder of an E pentatonic minor scale. So that's your first little section. Okay, so from here, I jump up to here. And what I'm actually going to be doing, I mean, you might be wondering why didn't I start my E pentatonic minor from this 12th fret of the E string here. It's just because it's a little bit woolier there. And I wanted it a little bit crisper, so I've played it further down the neck. What it does mean is from the hybrid picking point of view is you're picking the same strings for the next section of the lick. So you're down here, then you go up, so your first finger's in at the 12th fret. So what I'm going to do here is hammer on 12 to 14 in the A string, pluck 12th fret of the G string with the middle finger. Then of course I've got my 14, 12 with an up then downstroke on the A string, and then I pluck 14th fret of the G string. So that little sequence goes like this. Combined with the first bit. Then what I do is I just move in place. So I'm now jumping up. If you can visualize your E pentatonic minor scale here. I've just done my 12, 14 there, 12, 14 then G string. I'm going to be jumping up to the D string now. So I do a hammer on 12 to 14 in the D string. Then I pluck 12th fret of the B string. And I've got my up, down, 14 to 12 in the D string. And then pluck 15th fret of the B string with the 4th finger there. You could use the 3rd finger, but I find it a little bit awkward to jump with that 3rd finger there, where if I'm doing it with the 4th finger, I can just move the finger rather than moving the hand. And then the last little bit, it's the same thing, just up on the G and the E strings now. So I do a hammer on 12 to 14 first to third finger on the G string, then a pluck 12th fret E string, then I've got my up down 14, 12 on the G string, and then a pluck 15th fret, that high E string there. So the last bit goes like this. Okay, so when you put it all together, you know, if I pause between each little phrase, you have this bit, then you're up to here, then you start from the D string, then you start from the G string. So that's the kind of, like, really it's E pentatonic minor. That's just a cool scale to play, but the technique, the little hybrid picking sequence is the thing that's quite good to kind of add to your little trick bag, if you will, and just kind of, as I said, when you're working on it, just take one little section and repeat it until you can play it without having to think, basically. Okay, so have some fun with that. As usual, you know, check out Twitter feeds and Master the Guitar on Facebook as well. The links will be at the end of the video, but just come along there, and because there's stuff I'm posting up there that you won't see obviously on YouTube or on the website either. So